and completely relax. Which means simply letting go. And watching yourself. And now we will begin the meditation by raising the energy, the Kundalini, 3 times along the spine. And we balance ourselves by bringing the energy of the left to the right and the right to the left. So we'll use these hand gestures. The left hand comes up from near the base of the spine in front all the way up, and the right hand starts behind the left and wraps around it like this. So we raise the Kundalini using these hand gestures, and we bring it up over the head and tie a knot. So we'll do this again. Raise the energy and tie 2 knots this time. And the third time, we'll tie 3 knots. And now, to balance, at the level of each of the 7 chakras, we bring the right hand near the left hip, raise the energy of the left, raise the right hand, arch it over your head, bring it all the way down to the right, and retrace that path, raising the energy of the right and bringing it down the left. So this was for the first center. So we'll do this 6 more times, balancing each of our chakras one by one. It's good to use nice, slow, fluid motions. Because that energy is fluid. And after this, we can bring our hands back on our lap. We can actually bring the right hand a couple of inches over the head to just see and make note of how we're feeling now at the beginning of the meditation. See if you're able to feel anything at all. A subtle, maybe warm or cool sensation. You can bring your hands. We're going to use, we're going to do what's called as vibrating the water, which is basically channeling your energy through your hand into the water. So we basically make clockwise motions like this over the water, but keep our attention at the top of the head so that the vibrations are flowing. And we can say, let the quality of the sea, the quality of the ocean, come into this water and salt, so that it may be a fine instrument in cleansing us. Now we can put both our feet in. Which is really water and the earth together. The salt represents the earth. But we'll put the right hand now towards the earth and feel a direct connection with Mother Earth. And as we surrender to her power with humility and gratitude, these energies start to flow within us. The connection actually happens. Because we're all part of the same creation. We are connected. Let us ask Mother Earth to please clear out any negativities, any imbalances in my first energy center, known as the Mooladhara Chakra. Moola means root, Dhara means support. Strong and balanced foundation. And that foundation is our innocence. Please give me enlightened innocence. Let me be joyous like a child. And let me be wise. The first center is also the root of the entire left channel, energy channel, known as the Ida Nadi, which governs the past, the subconscious, our emotions and desires. So, O Mother Earth, please absorb all the negativity, all the undue influences from my past, from my left channel. So I may be able to feel the freshness of the spirit and the joy of being in the present. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. Whenever we do this clearing or balancing, it is important to keep our attention at the top of our head and be in meditation. So we say the prayer or make the appeal and we let go. We allow the elements to do their work upon us. And we remain completely surrendered in our own connection with the divine. So now let's raise the left hand towards the sky. The right hand rests open on the lap, facing upward. And we appeal to the sky, the ether, the air, to take away all the excess heat generated on our right energy channel. Let my right channel be cooled down. Let my attention be soothed. Let me be free of any worrying about the future. We can also say, I am not the doer. You can bring the left hand down. You can continue meditating another couple of minutes. But if you feel like you could use some more clearing, you can always put both your hands towards the earth and just surrender. Ask Mother Earth to please take away any remaining imbalances that are preventing the ascent, the flow of my Kundalini into my Sahasrara. can bring both our hands back on our lap. The clearing naturally happens. You may even feel some heat coming out of your feet into the water. Which indicates that process of clearing is happening. Or you may just feel lighter on your hands. Or perhaps just more relaxed within. So we will conclude the foot soak segment now by taking each foot out of the water back in the water. So we'll take a minute to go dispose the water and come back and continue the meditation. So the theme for today's session is the sixth energy center, known as the Agnya Chakra, which is located behind the forehead in in an intersection area known as the optic chiasma. So here are some additional details about the the location of this center within the brain, but also it's important to know where it is reflected on our hands and our extremities. So as you probably know, every chakra is reflected in a specific finger. So the Agnya chakra is can be felt on the ring fingers of both hands, the left and the right. So, for instance, if you feel a tingling sensation or some heat, perhaps some numbness on any of these fingertips, then that could be an indication that there is some sort of a blockage in the flow of the Kundalini through that chakra, that there might be some imbalance. And there are, of course, ways to help that the balancing of that chakra. As such, the Kundalini, when we meditate, the Kundalini has the intention, the intelligence to correct that chakra, but we can also help it along the way with certain techniques. So we will focus on the qualities of the Agnya chakra here. It is a very very important center. It is the last center before the Sahasrara, the seventh center, opens. Now, there are two aspects to the Agnya chakra, one on the left and one on the right. So if you look at the chart of the subtle system, if you might recall, there is the left channel that comes up and it crosses over from the left side to the right side of the head. So we call this the left Agnya, even though it is on the right side. And as you know, the left side is about the past, it is about our conditionings and so on. So this area of the brain, this part of this channel, is known as the superego. So the whole left channel becomes what's known as the superego, which consists of all of our conditionings from the past, our identification with, it could be certain habits, it could be our family, society, anything coming from the past, coming from memory, that accumulates here as the superego. And the right energy channel, seen here in yellow, crosses from the right to the left side of the brain and matures there as the ego. And the ego is, as you know, it is the sense of I-ness. It makes one, there are many manifestations of the ego, including pride and ambition and so on. So both of these institutions exist in us, the ego and the superego. And the point in our evolution where we transcend this limitation, this sense of I-ness defined by these two institutions, that is when that connection happens at the seventh center. So it is very important for the Agnya chakra to be open and not be constricted by the ego and superego, so that the Kundalini can pass through and we get our self-realization and establish ourselves in it. So, and there are many reasons why the sixth center can get blocked, but opening the sixth center is rather simple, with a very powerful mantra of forgiveness. That is the reason we place the right hand across the forehead like this and say, I forgive. I forgive myself and I forgive everyone. Because when you forgive and you let go, the ego and the superego, they just subside. They kind of deflate like balloons, making the space open in the center. So it is crucial that we keep our Agnya chakra clean and open for our spiritual ascent to fully manifest. So you can read about the more detailed reasons for which this center can get caught, because there are many aspects to it: the left and the right and the back and the front. So what we can do now is we listen to a talk by Srimataji where she talks about some of the key aspects of the Agnya Chakra, and she uses the word gunas towards the end of the talk. Guna is basically an Indian Sanskrit word which refers to qualities, and the two primary gunas come from the left and from the right. So from the past.
What is that?
Yes. Oh, sorry. So let's listen to the talk and then we'll come back and meditate.
Attention. What is the movement of attention? And what are the ways and methods of raising our attention? Today, as I am going to speak to you about attention, you should know that your attention should absorb all that I am saying. It is not meant for anybody else. You better sit in thoughtless awareness. That's the best way, so that it goes into you. Otherwise, it's like a lecture, that you listen to me has no effect. Every lecture will transform you, because after all I am speaking. But because you always think of others and you think of your problems all the time, something nonsensical is going on about which you are worried, and the attention is so overloaded that whatever is said to you doesn't go into you. So just now utilize it by being attentive and knowing that all these nonsensical things have no value. It's your attention that has to come up and has to grow. Attention is chitta, and God is attention. How far your attention has been enlightened is a different one. But your attention is God. If you become enlightened to that extent, it is like a canvas. You can say it is like a canvas which is spread out for a film. Whatever aptitudes, or you can say the drags or movements of your attention has, shows on that canvas. Our attention is just a pure, completely pure canvas, and is acted upon by the three gunas we have to begin with. And the three gunas come to you, as you know, one from your past, one from your future sense, and one from the present. Now, whatever have been your experiences about a particular thing or a particular occasion, so far is completely recorded in your memory. For example, if you see the black color, all that goes with the black color is recorded in your memory. As soon as you see this black color, quite a lot of it comes up. That means as soon as you see this with your attention, the attention gets muddled up, or you can say the attention gets colored with all the memories about this black color. And then your action takes place according to the way your attention is affected. Is the memory that tells you, oh, you are again possessed. Because your left side is weak means you always live in your memory. Your memory is stronger than yourself. If you could make yourself stronger than your memory, Nothing can possess you. But after you get your realization, you are not still identified with that state of mind in which you see your ego and superego as myths. Still you get caught up into your ego and superego. And that's why your attention is still in a mess. All the conditioning of all kinds come through that. Your reading, even the whole atmosphere can come to you. You see, sometimes you smell a particular soap, or say a rose, you smell it. And all the memories of smelling such a rose sometimes comes to you, and you may feel really elated sometimes, maybe sometimes very unhappy, whatever may be the situation. So you may feel happy or unhappy, because whatever experiences you have had has given you a memory. This memory might have given you a superego or might have given you a ego. This scanning might have taken place. If it has been a ego and a superego, then maybe that if it was ego, you must have felt happy. If it is satisfying to your ego, you feel very happy. If it is not, if it is superego, if you are suppressed by this, then you feel very unhappy. So both things like happiness or unhappiness are the states where you are still in the myth. Still the myth exists. You have to still go beyond. So if you feel happy about some situation, you should know you are only happy before realization, because it is giving some support to your ego to bloat. And if you are unhappy, then you should know that there is some sort of a suppression on your ego and there is a superego developing. So both the situations have been of no help to you. Of no help to you for your growth, except that both these institutions develop so much that you are away from the real experiencing. The real experiencing stops because your attention is so much muddled up. So on one side, if you move on the left hand side, your attention is muddled up with fear, with pain, with unhappiness, with hopelessness, dejection. The other side, if you indulge too much onto the right hand side, little bit also, you start getting elated, excited, over dominating. The color of the left side is blue, and the blue color starts changing to the black. While on the right hand side, it is to begin with yellow, light yellow, or you can say golden, then yellow, then orange, and then red. So you go to aggression on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you go into a complete state of entropy, you can call it, or a state where you are separated from yourself into complete frozen state. So one side you become completely frozen, on the other side you become completely heated up. Both these things are again movement on the wrong direction. Even in the center, when the attention is kept, that you keep your attention more in the center. There also, because it's a very sensitive point, it doesn't stay there. For example, when we say use fire, we can use it for burning the house. In the same way, we can use it for creating smoke. But we can also use this fire in its proper way, if we use it in its proper proportion, for cooking the food, for giving us light. If it is too much, it can burn like a big fire. If it is too little, it can burn like smoke. But in the center, when you know how to balance it, then you can use it for your own purpose, for cooking or for giving light. And then for a puja too. So in the same way, when we really balance our gunas properly, then we become gradually the master of the whole situation.
Let's close our eyes. Let us see if we are in that state of thoughtless awareness. You can place the right hand across the forehead, bend the head down, forward, gently press near the temples on both sides, and say, I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. I do no favors to anybody by forgiving them, but by forgiving, I am free, truly free, free to experience the peace within. And become one with reality, with the divine. I forgive. I forgive every thought. Bring the hand down. You can place the right hand behind the head and just tilt the head backwards. And say, please forgive me if I have made any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive me. You can bring the hand down. We can also just press on both sides of the head, on the left and the right, almost like a little massage. And bring our hands down. Now, if you feel any tingling on the right ring finger, this relates to the right Agnya, which is on the left side of the head. You can just put the left hand on the left side of the head. Just put some gentle pressure and say, I am not this ego. I am but a particle in the vast expanse of the cosmos. I am part of that divine being, just an atom in that divine body. And bring the left hand down. Now, if you're feeling a tingling on the the left ring finger, or some numbness, some heat, then you put the right hand on the the right hand on the right side of the head. Gently put some pressure. And here we say, I am the pure spirit, free of any conditionings from the past. I am detached because I am in reality at the feet of the divine. Bring the right hand down. And again, put the right hand behind the head. Resting our head backward. We can again say, please forgive me. And please forgive my past. Please forgive my forefathers, my ancestors, for any mistakes done, knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive. And while we're there, we can just, with the fingertips, press near the base of the brain, near that little depression above the neck, just below the skull. And very gently. This area of the brain is directly connected to the first center, the Muladhara. So we can also say, I am innocent. Make my eyes innocent and pure. Let my attention be pure and innocent. You can bring the right hand down. Now we can bring the right hand to the top of the head, the seventh center known as the Sahasrara. In Sanskrit, this means thousand petaled, because this is the chakra is also known as a thousand petal lotus. So we'll slowly massage this area, moving the right hand clockwise around the scalp. Just around the center of the head. And as we do this, we say, O Mother Kundalini, let me have my connection. Let me be one. Let this limited being become one with the unlimited. Let me be in reality, beyond thought, beyond doubt. Just one with the truth, the absolute truth. We can bring the right hand down. So let's continue to keep our attention just above this space, just above this area that we massaged. Keep our palms open so we may feel the flow of the vibrations. And we remain in thoughtless awareness, letting go of any thought that might come without resisting. simply witnessing. And keeping our awareness in the space above our head. Continue meditating with some meditative music playing. Bring the right hand a couple of times at the chest. Let's see how we are feeling now in this space compared to when we checked in the beginning. Check with the other hand as well. So we will conclude today's meditation by once again raising the Kundalini 3 times and then balancing ourselves. First time 2 knots. First time 1 knot. Second time 2 knots. Third time 3 knots. To firmly establish the energy over the seventh center. And then bring the energy of the left to the right and the right to the left. We do this 7 times. So thank you all for joining today, and hope you felt calmer within. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know, or if you want to just share your experience, please go ahead.